All right, so welcome to Blender, and I'm still using Blender 4.1.1, and today we're going to be looking at smoke and fire simulation in Blender. See, the last time we looked at fluid simulation, how to simulate fluid, and we did on a swimming pool kind of fluid, and equally pouring fluid in a container. So now we're going to be looking at simulating smoke and fire. All right, it's similar to the fluid, but it still has its own thing going on. So this is what we'll do. I told you guys in simulation we'll have three parts, and we have the domain where the whole simulation will happen, which this cube will be the domain. So we're going to go ahead and let's go to X-ray mode, and we'll just press 1 as for photographic mode. Press S, scale it up. So the domain is where all simulations will be happening. Okay, all simulations will happen in the domain, and yeah, this is domain. And try as much as possible not to make it so much big, but you have to give a lot of headroom up because it's smoke, and smoke rises up. Okay, so this is domain, and we're going to press Shift A and go to add mesh, add the second factor, which is, let's use a UV sphere. This is something that has to introduce the smoke in the scene. So let's use a sphere, a UV sphere for it. Is inside the domain, as you can see. Okay, so this will be what introduces the smoke in the whole scene. Okay, let's just make it like this, and let's keep it here. So I'll show you guys something later. All right, so this will introduce the smoke that rise up. Then we'll add a monkey head. I just want to add, press Shift A, go to mesh, go to monkey. This is just to serve as a collision object. All right, yeah, just serve as a collision object. Make it a little bit smaller so that the smoke is rising, it can collide on this. All right, so you can use this in various ways to collide on things and all that. All right, so that is the three factors we have. So the domain, we'll click on it and go to physics, and we'll go ahead and go to fluid. Okay, they are all classified as fluid simulations. Okay, so go from the type of fluid simulation, change it to domain. Okay, all right, now it's domain. If you press go back to your viewport shading, it should be transparent like this. Okay, all right, so without it, let's close this back. Without it, if you go back to your viewport, okay, let me press Shift Ctrl Z. If you go back to here and you select it as fluid and change, if you have not changed it to domain to be a solid box, you can't see through it. But once you change it to domain, you can now see through it. Okay, it now shows that this is a container for a simulation, so you can see through it. Fine, then you click on this, go to fluid, and this changes from the type to become a flow object. This is what we introduce the smoke in. As you can see, once you click it, a smoke like thing appears here. Then you change this from leave this flow type to smoke, and change it from geometry, because if you leave as geometry, it only simulates just this one circle of smoke. Okay, if that's what you want, fine, but change it from geometry to inflow, so it will keep introducing smoke every single frame and to keep going up. That's what inflow is. Good. And yeah, the rest of this you can leave them pretty much how they are. You can leave flow source. Okay, let's click on flow source. Flow source is mesh. That is this circle. This sphere is flow source. If you actually created a particle system, you can use particle system for it. Maybe we'll do that in a separate tutorial to show you how you can use particle system to drive the simulation. Or yeah, you can do that. If we have enough time, we might do it here, but otherwise on that tutorial will be fine. So leave this as planar. Okay, this is not planar, so planar is a flat surface. All right, then emission surface is how close is this smoke going to be holding this ball, how close will it be to the ball. That is emission surface, so we can make it 1, so it gets more closely touching the ball. Okay, good. Then initial velocity is like initial velocity that the smoke will use to rise up, then normalize. All right, if you want, you can click it, and just leave it as 1. And once that happens, you just leave it as 1. Now you can click on this, go to fluid, and change this from the type from none to effector, just like we did in the fluid simulation. Okay, and this is going to be a collision, and just leave it the way it is. Okay, Now, if we go ahead and click on this domain, this is where you change all your settings. This is the resolution. 32 is quite low. All right, we can maybe make it 64 just for the sake of showing you how it works. Okay, when you click on it, you notice that this box becomes smaller. That shows how much details that is being captured. The smaller this box, the more the details this is going to have. Okay, then time scale is how fast the smoke is going to go. Let's forget about CFL number, and let's just go straight to what you focus on. Now, adaptive domain is one of the things you have to look at. If not, once you press on play, the CPU starts to calculate everything inside here. If there's nothing here to calculate the empty space, so till it gets to this place and calculates again, so it's going to waste a lot of calculating time, calculating all the empty spaces before actually doing the work here. So just click on adaptive domain. It shrinks it down to only start where the work is actually happening, where the simulation is happening. It goes straight there and starts to calculate there instead of calculating everything in the whole domain at once. All right, now go to your cache file and change this. Click on this, change this just like the last time. Change where you want to save your cache. You can delete these ones. Click on this and delete them. Now, why we do change this, doesn't mean that without changing it won't work, but it's just that you need to put it where you created yourself. Okay, I've created a folder already myself. You can create one in your system. Okay, just like here, this is a folder. I created one, test smoke and fire cache. Just created a folder, double click it, then accept. So this is where I know where it's saving, because after sometimes maybe you forget to clear up, you might need to know where you're clearing up your cache. That change this to end at 100 frames. You can leave it if you want to simulate 250 frames, fine, good for you. It's just depending on what you want. But for this tutorial, we're going to be doing 100 frames. So we'll stop at 100 frames. And now if I just go ahead and play it roughly, you'll see what it's going to look like. Now at the moment, you notice something, that the smoke is actually rising very slow. It's going very slow, and you probably don't want that. It's going to take you forever to get to where you're going to. Although it's still playing, if you look here, it's playing at just about 2 frames per second. Maybe when you play back, just because of the system power, when you play back in real time is about 24 frames per second. It should play faster. All right, so it's going slow at that. So if you want to, just for the sake of this tutorial, if you want to force it to go fast, that is where you go, so that at least you can see what it looks like, even though it's not playing in real time. You can come to this time scale and increase the number. The higher you increase this number, the faster the smoke will go. Okay, so let's make this about 3. Let's make it 3. So if we play it now, the smoke is going to be simulated a bit more faster. You can see just as at 20 frames, it's already making contact with this. Okay, so it's going to be going a bit more faster, and if you see, it's actually affecting this. You see, it's taking the shape of this monkey head because it's now affecting this, right? All right, so that is the basic smoke simulation. Now you can see from the top here, it affected the monkey head, and yeah, so if you play back, if it caches the first time, it will play back faster the second time. All right, so because we left this, if you look at this setting here, this side of my screen, the right side, because we left this at replay, the type of way we want to simulate this, we left it at replay. That's why we can press play and actually watch it simulate here. All right, normally when you are going to be doing a higher resolution simulation, I don't advise you to leave it at replay. You have to click and change it to I use another setting called all. I use all. All right, use all so that it actually simulates at the background. It doesn't show you all this. This drains lots of your computer processing power. All right, so now this is smoke. Okay, this is smoke simulation. We can see it now. Now if we need to add more details to this smoke, if we need to add more details to it, you can go ahead and click on first of all, let's click on dissolve, because if we leave this smoke, it will keep going to the end of the box. It doesn't disappear. So click on dissolve. Okay, if you open up this dissolve area, it shows you the time it will take to dissolve. So it will dissolve in about, say, 5 seconds. 5 seconds from your simulation. So that would be like the how long it will take to dissolve. So 5 seconds, it should start dissolving. Now if I play this again, I will watch. So now you see that the smoke is actually dissolving just at the monkey head, right? It's no longer going so high here anymore. If we play this back a bit faster again, you see it goes up and it dissolves just before it goes way up here, right? That's the natural way the simulation will go. Okay, so that's for dissolve. Now if we need to add more details, can click on noise, and noise would add a little bit more details to the simulation, not necessarily increasing the resolution, but add a little bit more noise. You can see if you click here, you see it's upres factor. Upres means it's upscale the resolution a little bit by 2. Okay, doubling your last resolution in a way, but not really changing the overall resolution, but just kind of faking a resolution to it. Okay, it increases your processing power as well. Processing power. Now this is what you do. So this is it for smoke. Now if you really want to increase the resolution, you just come in here and you click on change this resolution division from 64 to the best is 256 to get the most realistic, but because of sake of tutorial we can do 128. Click on 128. All right, I don't want to take so much, so you can see it changes a little bit, and you come in here and we're going to just simulate a little bit, but we'll come here and change this from replay to all, and change this to is resumable, so that at any point, maybe once it gets to 50, I will say, okay, we don't want to do again. We can press escape to cancel it, and when you watch it and stops at 50, say, okay, this is good. You can continue, press play. A play button or resume button will show here. You can now click on it and continue from 50 and keep simulating. But that is if only you click on this is resumable button. Okay, if you don't, then once you stop it, it's done. You have to start afresh. All right, then another thing again is you see this advanced. You can click on leave this, go to this precision volumes, change it from half to full. This just increases the bit depth of the smoke. All right, I usually do this for final resolutions and all. So let's click on bake all, then we'll come back and see what the smoke looks like at 128, not 256. Okay, at 128, let's see what it looks like. Okay, we'll be back. All right, so let's stop the tutorial. Let's stop the simulation. Let's click escape and stop the simulation at 66 frames. So you see all bakes are all cancelled. But if you look at here, because of this is resumable, you can see resume and free. If you click on free bake, it will cancel all the bakes and start you afresh again. So don't click this unless you are ready to do away with all the bakes you have done from 0 to 66. Okay, so let's click back and now play it again to watch what it's going to look like. So it's going to stop at 66. And we'll see what it looks like. So you can see I still stopped at 50, so you can see what it looks like, right? So this is it. Now if we want to see this as an actual smoke, let's go into the shading. Click on this part of your screen and drag it in. Click here, go to shading. Shading is how you get your look. So normally is on principled BSDF. You click on this box. Okay, click on this material, click on material, and if let's say if you see nothing here, let's click on this minus, and let's say you click on materials and everything is like this, click on new. Okay, and change this principled BSDF to principled volume. When you talk about fire and smoke, you are dealing with volume, okay, not surface anymore. So right now, if we go ahead and change this from this view to rendered view, click on this and change this to cycles, from EV to cycles. All right, and you can switch from CPU to GPU. Okay, now for some of you, if you have a GPU and you don't know how to activate it, you can click on edit, go to preference, and go to your system and change it from none to CUDA and activate your GPU and CPU. Or if your GPU is quite powerful, just activate it alone. Don't combine the two of them. It's actually slower than that. If you have an optics, click on it and all that. Okay, so that's how you do it. After doing that, click on this and click on save preferences so that it always saves with your Blender. All right, then when you come here, you can activate your GPU. But if you don't have a GPU, fine, just use your CPU. Now if you come here, you see that, okay, let's click on this world shading as well. Click on world, go to color and make it black. All right, then click on this, your lights. You have your lights here, right? Click on your lights, go to the light data and change it from points to sun, and change the sun. The sun is really very high, so change it to 5. Don't make it so high, so make it like 5. Now you can see you're not still seeing your smoke. Now for you to give your smoke the details, it is not you don't change the color of this. You change the material of the box, the domain itself. The domain is what forms the smoke. Okay, so this is the domain, and we have added principal volume, but we are still not seeing anything here. Why are we not doing that? Because this is connected to surface, so nothing volume, smoke and fire has nothing to do with surface. So take it out of surface and plug it to volume. And once you do that, you notice that you can start seeing your smoke. Okay, you start to see your smoke. It starts to show off. All right, now if you want to see more of the thickness of the smoke, if it has more thickness, click on density and change this to a higher number, or make it 5, and you can see it has more thickness to it. Okay, it has more thickness to it. So that is it. If you make it 10, you have more thickness to it as well. All right, but don't overdo it. So that is your smoke. That's how you see your smoke. All right, and if you click on this, you want maybe make your sun to be like 10, and yeah, you see more of your smoke. That's how you see your smoke in a dark environment. All right, and if you want to still change the color of your smoke, you can click on this. There are 2 ways you can actually do it. You can either click on this and change the color from to here, and it's like dust. This is how you still simulate dust. All right, or you make it bluish. You can change the color to whatever you want. Okay, change the color to whatever you want here. Then or you leave it as white, then go to your lights. All right, if it's only your smoke that's in your scene, you just change the color of your lights here to brown, and whatever thing light is casting on, you see everything is all the color is all the same color. All right, but this will affect your entire scene if you are doing that. Okay, if you're in a room that is lit with a red light, obviously any smoke there will appear red from the camera or whatever thing. So that is how you do it. Okay, now that is for smoke. That's the basics of smoke. So I hope you guys will be creative with this. Now let's talk about fire. All right, how do you simulate fire? Let's click on this and go back to your physics. Go down, 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 and free all bake. Okay, free all bake. Click on it and it clears all your cache files. In just few seconds, it clears everything, and you are back to, you see, free all bake complete. So back to the beginning. Now let's go to fire. All right, let's make this back to 64 so you can see what I mean. Now if you want to simulate fire, you have to click on the object that is going to be emitting the fire. Change this from smoke to fire, not fire and smoke, only fire. All right, now click it only fire. Then you can come in here, the fuel that fuels the fire. You can increase the fuel to like 1.5 so that the fire has more fuel that burns it, and or you can make it 2, so it becomes an aggressive fire, depending on what you want though. Then surface emission, yeah, the fire should burn closely to this ball, so you're actually lighting this ball on fire. You can leave it at 1, and yeah, you can leave it at 1. Then if you come here, come to textures, click on textures. All right, click on this box, click down. These textures are like that. All right, so if you click here, there's no texture here, so you have to click on this to create a texture for the fire. Okay, because fire has a different kind of texture than smoke. Okay, so click on this, press new, and change this image and move it to clouds, and change this from change these colors. Go here and change this contrast, make it like 5, so it's contrasty, and you change the size to like 0.5, or sorry, to like 1. No, Just reduce the size though. Reduce the size to like points or something, like point one is fine. Point one is okay. All right, so make this just this contrast, and this is fine. All right, so this gives you the texture of the fire you want. Then go back to your physics, and go to this texture. Click on it now. You see this texture you have created now appears here. So you click on it. That will be your fire texture. And now go back to the domain, and you know, go down to, there's a section for fire. Click on this fire, and the reaction speed should be like decrease it like 0.5, because the lower it is, the more flames you have. The higher it is, the less flames you have. Okay, so make it 0.5. Then leave the flame smoke. The vorticity is like how kind of violence the smoke actually has, more rigor it has on it. All right, 0.5 is okay, but you can make it maybe 0.75 if you want your smoke to be a bit more violent, and leave the smoke color and the minimum and all that. And yeah, you can actually, okay, let's change this to replace so you can see what I mean in a bit. I see it here, but smokes are actually best done with higher resolutions. Okay, so we'll click on this, and when you play it, you see. Now, if you see, it has a lot of, it has these spaces here, like it's emitting around this, but you can see that the resolution is not that high. So if you're going to simulate fire, you need, a good amount of resolution to do that. But this is what it's like. Okay. Now, what I'm going to quickly go ahead and go back, and I would increase this resolution to just for the sake of the tutorial. Or you know what? Not for the sake of tutorial. I want you to really see how detailed the fire can be. Let's make this 256, and I'll quickly um, simulate it, and I'll get back to you in a few minutes once it's done. Okay, we can't, so once you have changed something as high as 256, you can, okay, let's bring this thing down so at least we're sure it will interact with it. Okay, let's bring it down. I don't mind what is going on. Okay, yeah, so click back on this. Let's go back here, and yeah, every other setting stays the way it is. Changes from replay to all, and it's resumable should be checked. And once it's done, then just go ahead and press Ctrl S to save so your Blender doesn't crash. All right, if it crashes, then yeah, you're gonna have to start again. Okay, so you do not want that. So let's call this basic fire and smoke simulation tutorial. Yeah, that's it. So we'll just press bake all, and we'll come back when it's done. All right, so we're going to stop the simulation here at 38. All right, I just wanted to show you guys the the resolution, the increment in resolution. So we'll press escape, and cancel the simulation. So at 38, bake or cancelled. So let's make this end at 38. All right, so press this, go back, and we'll play back, and we'll watch this happen. Now you see the fire isn't going that high because of the dissolve that we added to it, but it's just stopping normally. Okay, all right, Now I've showed you guys, let's look at this. Okay, I've showed you guys how to add smoke material. Let's go back to the render shading tab. Let me show you guys how to add fire. All right, fire wouldn't just show up. Okay, you have to work on the shaders. Okay, so how do you do that? You have to click here, this empty space, shift A, click shift A on your keyboard, go to input, go to attributes, click on attributes, place it here, and click on name and call it temperature. No, not temperature, call it what do you call it? Call it heat. Call it heat. All right, heat. Okay, then take that heat, take the factor of this heat, pull it out, leave it, then click on type color ramp, color ramp. Okay, then click on this that has factor, this color ramp factor, click on it. So that will bring a color ramp and connect it to the factor automatically. Then take this color end of it and connect to emission strength. This will control the strength of the fire. All right, now take this, click on this, bring it close to here, take this, bring it close here. So we want to create a black, white, black shader. All right, click on plus again to add another thing here and take this to the way here. All right, then change this color to black, pitch black. All right, then bring this here. So we'll have mostly black and white, black, black, white, black. All right, good. All right, now it starts to form. Now we'll do the same thing again. We're going to take this factor value again, draw it out, leave it, type another color ramp. Okay, it's already here, color ramp factor. Click on it. Then this will be the color of our fire. All right, so we'll take this and connect it to emission color. Okay, the other one was the strength, this is the color. So we click on this, make your color to be like orange, make this go high and make this dark orange, like deep orange. Okay, and drag it close by here, very close to this. Then make this, click on this and make this yellow. All right, just light yellow. Okay, light yellow, fine. And you can bring the orange closer again, so it's like orange, yellow and all that. So you can see your fire is showing up here, right? Now the smoke is still there, but we can change the density of this smoke. Is too much, so make it like 1. Okay, or for just because of rendering and all that, you might not be seeing the smoke, you might be looking grainy and all that. So you can just, if you just want fire on its own, make smoke density to be 0. So there'll be only fire without smoke, of which we don't know if that is realistic. But if that's what you want, you can make the density to be 0. Now, if the fire is not showing much, you want it to actually light up very well. Okay, then you can come here to this last place, press Shift A and go to converter and go to maths and click on maths and add it here and change this to multiply and increase this to like 10. This increases how bright the fire is. So you can now see that the fire is burning very bright here. Okay, so if you click on this ball, if you just want this to look cool, you can click on this ball. Let's say, okay, sorry. So click on this ball, come to this place, click on here on this objects, come to visibility, click on visibility and click on shadow catcher. All right, that would only catch the shadow of the fire. When you click on it, click out, you see that this looks cool, right? You can come closer, you can see fire burning on this and affecting this monkey head as well. So that's how you get your fire shader. All right, and yeah, you can click on this as well and go to objects, go to shade smooth, and we have a smooth monkey head that is on fire. So guys, so this is how you actually create fire, and this is how you create fire, and this is how you create smoke. So I'm sure you guys enjoyed the tutorial, right? So if you really did enjoy the tutorial, click the like button. So this is fire, and if you play it, this simulations actually take a lot of system performance to handle, to work. All right, so unless you're using another third-party software like EmberGen, then those are real-time simulation softwares. So, but generally simulations take computer power, so you need to have a strong processor. The processor is what actually processes your simulations. Okay, so that is what it is. Then if you can take a look at this, you'll see we'll have a good fire. All right, that's the end of our tutorial on smoke and fire. If you have any questions, you can go to the comment section and drop the questions there. I'll go through that and I could answer your questions right there in the comment section. I'll make another tutorial to clarify your questions. So nice talking with you guys. Nice having you here, and see you guys on the next tutorial. The next tutorial, we're going to be showing you how to merge this is actually a visual effects tutorial, so we're going to be showing you how to actually take a real life a CGI object, and we're going to put it in a real life footage, in a live environment, and we're going to blend it in there, and you will never know that this was actually a CGI in that environment. I hope you guys are excited, right? So just come back for the next tutorial, and we're going to be handling that. And see you guys next time, and take care of yourself. Have a good day. Bye bye.